So during consumer AR's early stages, success stories are relatively rare, but once identified, a lot can be learned from early leaders. So what are they doing right? How are they engaging users and how are they making money? So after parts 1 and 2 of this report series where we dove deep on AR revenue leaders like Snap and Niantic, we shift attention in part 3 to the emerging players who are showing early signs of those same best practices and even some new ones. So we break down these emerging players into 3 buckets: AR converts, AR enablers, and AR hopefuls. So starting with converts, these are the established companies that are entering AR, such as Instagram, and they're often advantaged by resources and built-in network effects, but that doesn't necessarily guarantee AR success, which relies more on execution. So for instance, Houzz is an exemplar for taking an AR-first approach to product visualization, but it hasn't overplayed its AR hand and has integrated AR sparingly. So for example, AR is infused in the existing consumer path to purchase rather than making users have to jump through hoops. AR is too early and unproven to justify that friction. And this seamless integration is also demonstrated by Pinterest and again Instagram, which we believe could be an AR sleeping giant. So the second category we look at is AR enablers, which are the picks and shovels tool providers accelerating AR traction by democratizing it. And this includes Eighth Wall, which builds on WebAR's low friction advantages. And interestingly, it's bringing that same approach on the consumer side to developers with easier tools to get up and running, which is really going to be necessary for AR to break out of the bubble of 3D animators and developers and expand to non-technical folks like creative agencies and brand marketers. And this is a key democratization move because these entities are going to be the point of adoption for consumer-facing brand and retailer AR activations, or what we call B2B2C, in that they're building immersive experiences for their customers. So this is going to be a huge revenue category unlocked by AR enablers like Eighth Wall and a few others we examine. Finally, the third category we explore is AR hopefuls, which is notable AR companies just out of the gate, particularly those demonstrating the right mix of fresh thinking and adherence to some of the best practices in consumer AR's young and developing playbook. And the most notable of this lot so far is Tilt 5, which is really a lesson in product focus. So it eschews the popular concept of AR everywhere, which is sort of a tenet of the AR cloud, in favor of perfecting AR somewhere, which in this case is a stationary AR-fueled social board game. And this is a familiar use case of board games with friends on game night, but it's enhanced and animated through AR. And that focused value proposition, along with its straightforward, plain-spoken marketing around an experience cell rather than, listing a bunch of specs, has really resulted in some of its success, including 1.7 million in Kickstarter backing and some really promising metrics and attributes so far. So that just scratches the surface, and you can read more in the full report. But one note in closing, now that we've rounded out this 3-part series, a prominent theme that's threaded throughout is this concept of what we call AR training wheels. So the thought is that AR is too early and unproven to get consumers to work for it or go out of their way to activate it. And the most successful forms of AR so far have applied it as an organic and value-added component to things users are already comfortable with. And AR will eventually stand on its own, including native thinking and design, but at this stage, the most success is being found when it builds on the familiar.